Right on time.
Oh, wow. So happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. This is Sharonda with the Wesleys. We are still in our Black in Love series, highlighting African American couples who are in love and teaching us how to do it well. So go ahead and get your notebooks out, get those pens. I know you're going to be inspired. I know that you're going to be blessed by what's to come. And so I'm excited to be here right now with the Wesleys from the West Coast. What part of California are you all from? Hi, Nikita.
We're from LA, South
South Los
Central,
Angeles.
Okay. Oh, let me stop that one real
to be
quick.
specific.
You said South Central?
South
Mhm.
Central.
Wow. Okay. So y'all was feeling the Super Bowl too then.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
100%.
We stayed
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Excellent. In this series, my goal was to have people nominate couples that they felt were inspiring. Okay, because sometimes in a world where there's so much talk about the bad parts, we wanted to lift up the great parts. And you all were nominated by Ty Scott King. I think she's phenomenal. So I know if you all inspire her, you just have to be phenomenal. So shout out Ty. Thank you for your nomination. And thank y'all for accepting. So tell me, how long have y'all been married?
Let's see. What time is it? It's 3:00. It's been 2 years. No, sorry. It's been a year and 7 months,
Okay.
2 days, and 3 minutes.
Oh, you better go ahead. Listen, he know the minutes, y'all. Okay, we taking notes already.
Extra.
When your man know the minutes y'all been together, you in a good situation. That's amazing. Cool. How did you meet?
Why don't you go?
Do you want the Cliff Notes version, or do you want the full on kind of journey?
You give us what you feel you want to share, because we want it all, but you give us what you want right now.
Okay. So initially we had connected on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
So technically that's how we met, right?
Okay.
Officially, yes.
But then in person, the story is that I met him at a show that he does, because he's also a Christian rapper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he was doing a lot of shows and everything, and this was back when I was kind of introverted, but I was like, well, if you don't go nowhere, you're not gonna meet nobody, so you gotta go somewhere. So
you got dropping bombs already. Love it.
So, well, you're right, I still am, but I went with a couple of my friends, and I had met him there. It was not like a meaningful meeting, I guess. It was more like a hey, but
it was unofficial.
And I thought he was kind of rude because he wasn't really paying attention to me. And I was like, whatever, man, I go talk to so. But he doesn't even remember that. So he claims, and he even put it in the vows, that he did not meet me that night. No. And so I'm like, okay, whatever.
When you are the artist and the administrator and the planner, you're also the cleaning crew. So while I was, we had a venue that was fortunate enough to be like, yeah, you can do the show here for free. You just have to make sure you clean up before and after. Charge you. So my mind is, I got to make sure this place is spotless.
Right.
We go home because everybody's leaving. She met me while I was doing that.
Got it.
While I was doing that, and I'm just, hi.
Okay. Nothing's wrong with that. You know what's really good about it is you were in your purpose, doing what you need to do to do what God called you to do.
Yes.
And so she comes into your area, but you're still so focused. That's a great thing. And you said you weren't extroverted and was trying to do something a little different. And so that's two things that I see already. That's amazing. Amazing. Okay. So you didn't meet her that night. So when did you meet her?
Right. You saw that part.
So here's the thing. I used to operate the social media for my group.
Okay.
So she came to the show. She followed us online. She didn't know I was running the page.
Okay.
Like Instagram, right?
Okay.
She followed. So then one of my I guess I'm gonna say mentors, so to speak. It's like you have to have your own Instagram, because if you don't have your own Instagram, then people are gonna think that you are the group, you know?
Yeah.
So I created my own Instagram at Peace to Iron. And then I basically followed everybody back that I was already following on the group, included her.
Okay.
And pretty much from there, you know, I would post about just like, you know, my life as it is, you know, like I'm reading this book, I'm going to this thing, you know, and then I guess I wrote a post about Joyce Meyer's book, Power Thoughts.
Nice.
And she was like, I read that book. We had a whole conversation about the book.
Okay.
So I slid in the DMs.
Like, okay. So that was similar. Yeah, and you wanted to reach out. How did that make you like? Okay, so at that point, was it just like that's cool, cute girl reading the same book, or were you like, you know, tell me, how did that come across?
So it was, so from my perspective, it was a lot different. So like I was on this, like, how can I say, this path, so to speak, of being intentionally single, waiting on God for God to bring the person, you know? So because of that, like initially my response wasn't, ooh, pretty girl. It was just like, oh, she seems cool, you know? Like, this book until God says something, but she seems cool.
Right.
So pretty much, you know, we had a few more conversations from that point. And then we had a very long conversation super early in the morning.
Well, this was after we met.
This was like,
we gotta tell her how we met. Yeah, we met. What was it after we met?
It wasn't. It was because you were going on the summer. We met after that point.
Wait, say that again.
You were going to Jamaica.
Yeah,
that was before Rhetoric.
That was before.
It was.
Oh well, excuse me.
So basically, about a month before we officially met, so I used to work this job as a manager at a bowling alley in Studio City, right? She had no idea. She was, you know, I think she posted something about her trip to Jamaica because she was going to Jamaica over the summer. And I liked the post at like 2 a.m, you know? Then she pretty much like messages me like, what are you doing up? And I'm like,
it was weird. Like, what?
And I'm like, I just got off work. I'm always up at this hour. What are you doing?
If you must know.
And then we had a whole conversation about Jamaica and ironically also about being intentionally single. Like that's what the conversation was about at 3 a.m, you know?
I love it.
This was after we met though, because I went to Jamaica August 15th of 2017. We met July 28th or 9th.
I am incorrect.
Yeah, because I was like, I remember we actually met in person. So let me tell you a little bit about that part, and then the conversation is kind of the rest is history, right? But because I'm like, he missing stuff, you know. But so
I am perfectly imperfect. Go ahead.
Oh yes. So basically, he invited me personally to this event called Rhetoric. It's a Christian poetry event that they had every year for as long as I could remember. On the West Coast, right? And so I like poetry, I like music, I like those kind of things. And so I was like, okay, I'll try to go.
She didn't want to go. I basically convinced her.
You know, introvert. I was like, if I find friends to go with me, then I'll go. If not, I'm not worried about it. You know,
and I was like, bet you know these people, right? Cool. Hey.
So I ended up going, and then from there we met. And the first thing that he did when he saw me is he gave me a hug. And so, to me, that was like it. He's so loving and so like kind. That's one of the things that I really, one of the first things that I noticed about him. So, you succeed. He's very like, and it felt very genuine. You know what I mean? Like they're kind, but there's like, it's fake, you know, but you can tell it's not authentic or they're just doing it for show. With him, I felt in my spirit, like he's genuinely, this is him. After that, we went to lunch. We went to dinner.
Dinner afterwards with friends.
Yeah, and we talked and everything, and then like then after that, we didn't really talk for a couple of days until that message.
Oh, and wow.
But after I came back from Jamaica from my vacation, like we talked pretty much every day since then, like literally. We didn't become official though until Christmas of 2017.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that was your Christmas.
That was my Christmas gift.
Oh, look at that. That's awesome. Okay, so okay. We're gonna go a little bit deeper into this intentionally single because both of y'all obviously knew what you were talking about. And that's a term that you don't hear that often. So that everybody doesn't hear often, I must say. So in that intentional single season, were you working on yourselves? Like what were you doing?
Very, very much so working on ourselves. There was a book by an author who is no longer Christian, but the book still stands the test of time. He wrote 2 books. One of them was I Kissed Dating Goodbye.
Yeah. Oh man, he's no longer a Christian?
Yeah.
Okay, we want to talk about that, but I Kissed Dating Goodbye, I'm with you.
Yeah, I Kissed Dating Goodbye. And then there was the next book in the series was Boy Meets Girl, Say Hello to Courtship, right?
Right.
Both of the books were pretty much groundbreaking for me. I was pretty much at a point where I had a relationship that failed pretty bad, like 5.5 years prior before us meeting. And I knew, I sometimes there's what I used to, what my former pastor would call it, is a stripping that happens. Where it's like, in order for God to get your attention, sometimes he has to strip away the things that are in the way of him getting your attention.
Right.
And for me, some of those things were that relationship. Some of those things were friends. Some of those things were the job that I put everything in, and it all, like, in the course of weeks, was just gone.
Right. Wow.
So, and it wouldn't have. There was no other way of explaining it other than like, you can't even just be like, when it happens like that, a domino effect. It's not a bad day or a bad month. It's just something's going on here.
Right.
So in that, after that season, I started to just work on myself, and I'm like, if I would read the story of Jacob and Rachel, where Jacob served Rachel's father for 7 years before he even got the girl he didn't even want to marry, and then 7 more years for the girl that he did want to marry. So
right.
And in the Bible, 7 means the number of completions. It's not just a set number. So it's like until it's done.
That's good.
So
very good.
In my mind,
yes.
So in my mind, it was like, all right, well, I'm gonna just be working on myself until God says something. Otherwise, and I read, a lot of books that I read that were like that helped shape me into who I am today. One, as I mentioned, I Kissed Dating Goodbye was a solid one. There was one called Boy Meets Girl, Say Hello to Courtship. There was the 5 Love Languages for Men.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Very great book for guys because it's like it teaches you that not everybody is going to receive love the way you receive love, and it teaches you to be able to effectively communicate in all the love languages, not just what you receive love in.
Right.
Another book that I felt like was just like, man, like I needed this book in the season was it was a book called Every Man's Battle. And Every Man's Battle, the subtext underneath the title is overcoming sexual temptation one day at a time.
Okay. Got it.
Because when you're out here trying to wait for a wife, you can't be entertaining all these other things, especially in SoCal. Because SoCal, people have no chill. You have to, and it was like one of the things that they talked about in that book was you have to learn to bounce your eyes. If you're looking more than 2 seconds, that's too long.
Wow. Okay. What's the name of that book one more time?
It's called Every Man's Battle.
Every Man's Battle. Okay. And I'm going to make sure everybody sees this because if you have not taken note, they just didn't stay single. They were learning, feeding themselves with books and things that could actually help change perspectives and focuses to be prepared to do God's will. And that's important. It's super important to know what I do. And believe it or not, I just met these wonderful people because of the nomination by Ty Scott. But what they're doing is just confirming you need to have the assistance to kind of change your way. Because if you could do it just like that, you would have done it already. So there is a time where you have to work on yourself. And the couple that we interviewed yesterday, the K's, said the exact same thing. Before you love someone or you commit to someone, work on you. Work on you. Okay. And so them saying the term intentionally single doesn't mean you have to sit and twiddle your thumbs. If you don't know how to get these resources, there are people in places such as myself, such as them, because they've been through it, you know, to really get your mind right, get your heart right. Let's get this healing up. Let's get all this stuff, you know, together as much as possible. So if you need help with that, go ahead and DM us because we need it. You can DM me. We have actual set out programs, but, you know, keep listening because they already dropping so much fire. Okay, so great. All right, so the Every Man's Battle. Okay, we're gonna highlight that one right now. And the 5 love language for men. I did not know they had one for men. I knew the teens. I knew the book itself. So that's really good. And thank you for sharing it. That's gonna bless somebody. Jerome says, "Get ready for your first." And for your bride or for your groom, you got to get ready first. You know, if you're looking to be married, and if you're out there and you're looking to be married and you don't know how to stay happily, intentionally single, that's the time to get the work in, you guys. It's time to get the work in. Okay, so y'all done met. Now you're talking every day, right? Did you face any challenges in the dating process, or was it smooth? Like, how was it?
I mean, it was. I think that the biggest challenge for both of us at times was, at the time, he was single for 5.5 years, and I was single for 7 years.
Wow!
And so,
there was an adjustment period.
Yeah, so there was an adjustment period. There was like boundaries that we had to set with friends and stuff like that who, you know, didn't understand. Didn't understand that, okay, I'm in a relationship now, so I can't be talking to you at 11 o'clock at night. Or I can't be going places with you
one-on-one time
one-on-one without, you know, some
even if nothing's going on.
Even if it looks
you gotta in the mere appearance of people.
And so that was one of the biggest challenges that we had. And you know, I was gonna say before that, because I was touching on what you said, Sharonda, like for me and my singleness, my preparation time was learning how to be content in God. So learning that, because I, you know, went through a stage where it was the only thing I could think about. I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to not be with somebody. I was like, okay, God, it's been a year, it's been 2 years, it's been so I had to go on this journey to contentment. I wrote a blog about it and everything, and I just wanted to know and learn that even if I didn't get married, even if I got married 10 years later or whatever, that I would be okay for me and me and God, you know, like, so I really deepened my relationship with him, deepened my discernment, deepened my understanding. And I was able to become joyful in my business, enjoy it, you know. And so I think that that's important too. Like, in addition to working on yourself, you have to learn how to enjoy the journey, enjoy the season. Like Paul calls it a blessing to be single. It's not a burden. It's actually a blessing, because then you get married and there's other stuff that comes along with being married. But, you know, so I just wanted to mention that because I feel like that's super important. And it may sound cliche, but it is so true that when you're not looking for something, when you're focused on your purpose, when you're focused on your God, and you're, you know, learning and just building yourself up, that is when you get the desires of your heart. That's not even just a relationship, it's everything, right? Like, when you're focused on, okay, God, you told me to do this last, so let me do this. I'm gonna trust you. I know you told me, you promised me. Yes. And so I'm gonna trust you, and I'm gonna keep walking in this until you bring it to fruition. And so that was my heart. That was my revelation. And that's what kept me until we got married. So I just wanted to share that. But
that's awesome.
To add on to that, one of my old mentors would always tell me this analogy. He was saying that as a man of God, like you have to be focused on your calling. Like if you look at the story of Adam and Eve, Adam wasn't focused on Eve. Adam was focused on his calling. And then as he was focused on his calling and serving God, then he felt the need to bring Eve.
Right.
He brought the wife while he was following his purpose.
Yes. That's right. I agree. Listen, y'all, we are talking to the Wesleys from California to West Coast, right? Yep. And
I can't even do it. I'm not a real one. I can't.
And they're telling us about the Black in Love story, and it's been beautiful already, starting from them taking time to prepare themselves, which is super duper foundational to the dating process and the things that they had to do to go over. Now, this is a little bit different here on Dreams Global. We're actually going to pause. Jerome says, yay, yay. And Casey and Taylor's up in there. She's amazed about the deep talks at 3 a.m. y'all talking about and 2 a.m. and all of that. We're going to take a pause right here. And so stay here on Dreams Global. We're going to come right back in about 3 minutes. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. You're here with Dreams Global and the Wesleys. See you in about 3 minutes.